Like, I grew up outside pretty much. Just living in this little town, you would just, like, if you go play with your friends, you're outside. If you're gonna go skiing, you're outside. It's just such a big part of my life.
This is the Adventure Sports Podcast, where we hear stories of adventure from every corner of the planet. We interview all sorts of folks who are using their sport to explore the world around them and give you the inspiration you need to get out there and have some fun. Hey folks, thanks for tuning in. I know there's a lot you could be doing with your time, so I appreciate you listening today. And speaking of today, today's episode is with Malou Peterson. She is a backcountry skier up in Canada, but she's not originally from there. We're going to get into her story, why she does what she does. We did this all before coronavirus, so we're very cheerful about the season, and obviously a lot of those plans have changed now. But this is also an interview from my other show, Without Compromise, where we interview a lot of athletes on there as well. So that is why it's a much shorter episode than usual. But, shorter isn't always, a bad thing. Sometimes that's just the right amount of time to invest into an episode before it gets too long. So I hope you enjoy. And also I wanted to say thank you to everyone who's reached out lately, emailed me directly at mason@adventuresportspodcast.com. I just really appreciate the kind words, really appreciate the encouragement through all this and how the show's helping you. So I hope it is. And if you don't mind, if you could leave us a positive review on Apple Podcasts, it goes a long way to helping folks discover the show. And y'all have been awesome. So keep downloading, keep listening, and keep sending in suggestions. That's really helped. All right, here is the episode. All right, folks, welcome to the show. And Malou, welcome to the show yourself. We're happy to have you on.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm stoked to be on.
I'm definitely excited to have you on. So yeah, it's going to be fun. So can you tell us a little bit about where did this start for you? Where did you grow up? Where was kind of the beginning of your story?
So I grew up in a little ski town in northern Sweden. It's this tiny town with like 2,000 people that lives there.
2,000 people, wow.
Yeah.
What's the name of it?
It's called Åre. If you're like into racing, you'll know about it because we have World Cups and stuff like that, but it's pretty small.
Now I heard isn't there an event there that happens every year that grows the town like exponentially?
I'm not sure if there's like one single event, but in wintertime there's like 50,000 people that can be there.
Oh my gosh, skiing?
Yeah, and when it's off season, it's just 2,000 people, so it's quite the contrast.
So it's safe to say you were probably skiing at a pretty young age.
Yeah, I started skiing when I was 2 years old.
They make skis that small?
They do, and they're so cute.
Oh, I can imagine. Holy cow. So was it pretty, obviously growing up in such a ski-heavy place, did you stand out at all from other people as being talented at it, or was it something you had to work at?
I raced at a pretty young age, and I was pretty good at it when I was younger. But there's also a lot of people that was good at it. So I definitely had talent, but a lot of other people had talent too, I would say.
Yeah, I'm sure it was hard to tell with everyone else skiing, 50,000 people skiing every winter. You were probably just kind of lost in the crowd. So yeah. When did you start, when did you start to notice that you were, okay, I'm pretty good?
It was probably, I started competing in ski cross for a while. And then I started winning all the competitions, and then I got to be on the Swedish national team. And then I kind of realized that, maybe I'm pretty good at this.
Yeah, if you're on the nationals team. So what can you explain? What is that for people who aren't skiers?
So ski cross is, maybe they know what motocross is, but basically it's 4 people. And there's a downhill course with jumps and turns and rollers, and the first person down wins. So it's pretty intense, but it's super fun.
And you're all going at the same time.
Yeah.
Thrilling, for sure.
Yeah, it's so fun.
Did you enjoy competing? Are you a really competitive person?
I'm a pretty competitive person, I would say, definitely.
From there, where else did skiing take you? Did you start? I mean, as you got older and were going through school, were you traveling around, or were you mostly staying home?
I was mostly traveling around. We would spend like fall down in the Alps doing preseason camps, and then during the winter it was competitions. So we would just be all over the place pretty much. But I got pretty badly injured, so then I had to stop with the ski cross, which led me into what I'm doing today, which is more backcountry skiing, which is it's not as intense in ski cross and it's more fun, I would say.
Well, what was your injury? What happened?
I got a pretty bad concussion, and then shortly after, I got another concussion. So I had a pretty bad, like, 2 years it took for me to like fully recover from.
How long ago was that?
What is it now? Let's see, it's like 6 years ago. Yeah, 6 years ago now.
Was that hard to go through, having 2 years of recovery? That's a long time.
Yeah, it honestly it was not not very fun at all, and it's also hard when you're so used to like competing and being on the road and being with your teammates, and then all of a sudden you're just at home and you can't do anything, like you're not allowed to work out or be super social or school or anything. So it was definitely
Oh my! What did you do? What did you do for 2 years?
well I started being able to like go to school more and do like travel and do all of that, but I couldn't really come back for it like in the competition scene, so that was hard. But I'm glad now it happened, because that made me quit with the competitive like ski cross skiing and get more into just the love of it and the fun of it in the backcountry.
Was there anything in particular during that time that kept you motivated or kept you just staying strong?
I think just being outside, and in that sense I'm so lucky that I still lived in such a beautiful and nice place that even if you couldn't do like what I was used to doing, I could still be outside. I could go for short ski days. I could like go for hikes and just be outside in nature, and that definitely helped me a lot through that. And friends and family being there for sure.
I did a lot of research on you, and just trying to hear more of your story, and I did see a lot that you really, really do have a connection with the outdoors. Is that just something that just has to be present in your life all the time?
I think so. Yeah, more or less. I can go to like a city for a weekend and then that's fun, but that's that's enough.
What do you think it is about just being outside for you? Why do you enjoy it so much?
Well, like I grew up outside pretty much. Just living in this little town, you just like if you go play with your friends, you're outside. If you're gonna go skiing, you're outside. It's just such a big part of my life. And then I think for humans, like that's what we're meant to do. We're meant to be outside and moving. So as long as we do that, we will be like have pretty good base happiness if we follow that. I think at least for me, that's definitely how it works.
You loved what you did, and you took 2 years off, and family, friends, and being outside helped. And I believe right now you're calling me from British Columbia. Is it Revelstoke that you're calling me from right now?
Yeah, from Revelstoke.
How did you end up there?
So I was living in Chamonix in France,
Mm-hmm.
and then I started really get into this like backcountry scene, and I started watching ski movies, and most of the ski movies was from Revelstoke in British Columbia. So I have to go there, and I went there, and 4 years later, I'm still here.
Oh my gosh! Why? Yeah, just why there of all places? It was because of some films.
Yeah, I just read about it in some magazines and some films, and it's supposed to have the best snow on the planet. So I was like, I need to go there and ski powder.
So what happened when the first time you went? Did it live up to the hype that you read about?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was everything I imagined about it really was it was that way. The snow was that good and everyone was so nice, and it was just it was a great experience. Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, it's a pretty small town too. Did that help?
Yeah, it is. I think it's like maybe around 10,000 people
Okay,
that
yeah.
lives here.
So
Yeah.
like 5 times bigger than your hometown, but still not very big.
Yeah, it's like a big city to me.
The big city. I grew up in a town of about 3,000, so I understand a little bit. But so these 10,000 people towns, oh my gosh, how do you even make it?
Yeah,
But
I know.
so moving from Sweden and getting to Revelstoke out in British Columbia in the gorgeous Canadian Rockies, has it been a tough transition for you 4 years later? I mean, you said family and friends really helped keep you, healthy during that time that you went through. Is that difficult for you now to be so far away?
Yeah, I definitely miss my friends and family back home, but this has become like a second home too, and there's lots of nice people here too, so it's not that bad. And I travel home quite a bit too, so it works, but I for sure miss my family and friends back home.
Do you think that you had to make this move to get to where you are today?
I think so, because it led me like in the path to where I am now, but I also still think if I would have moved somewhere else, I know I would always have went somewhere for skiing. And I've always had such a strong passion for just skiing and having fun with it. So I think maybe not in the same way, but I still think I would lead up to the same point wherever I went. But it definitely helped because the snow here and the skiing is just so good. So it's definitely a good place to progress and become better at it.
So what makes it so good versus maybe some of this snow that'd be closer to home?
It's just way, way more snow.
Just a lot more just volume of snow.
Yeah, and it's lighter, and there's no, like in Sweden, it's like you ski on wind-packed ice, pretty much. And here it's just fluffy clouds of perfect things.
I mean, has the transition been difficult, or do you even think about it that way?
I haven't really thought about it that way. I think it's more like, oh wow, skiing can be like soft and easy. Like you can go off more stuff and be fine if you land. I think you definitely have an advantage coming from like bad conditions. You become a strong skier from that.
Oh yeah, no, that's a good point. When you learn on either bad equipment or like a bad surface, once you get quality, you're going to be just far ahead of the competition. I definitely agree. I've seen that in other ways. So you said you talk about getting better. How do you personally track getting better? What does that look like to you since you're not strictly competing anymore?
To me, I felt like when I feel that I'm getting better, it's more like now compared to when I first got here. I ski the same thing, and I might have been scared of it before, be like, oh wow, I don't know if I can do this. And now it's just like, I can do this, no problem. I know how to do this. So it's more in that sense. And also I film a bit more now, and then there you can definitely see the progression you have made throughout the years, which is very cool to see.
Let's take a quick break and hear from our sponsor, Roman. One of the things I hate the most about doctor's appointments is that I will schedule one and it's literally probably a month later before I can go. And then it's a lot of time before I get results. And honestly, being a guy, I don't go to the doctor all that often. I think, oh my gosh, I think it's been years, literally years since I've been to the dentist or the doctor. And I definitely have some issues I need to seek treatment on. I don't know. I did procrastinate in that department. And if you're dealing with something like erectile dysfunction, that procrastination is not going to pay off in the long run. Let's just put it that way. Good news is Roman has been spending years trying to solve this by building a digital platform that connects you with a doctor who's licensed in your state, all from the comfort of your home. So they make it convenient to get a treatment you need and on your schedule. So just grab your phone, and really all you have to do is use your phone or computer, and you complete a free online visit, and you'll hear back from a U.S. licensed physician within 24 hours. And if doctor decides that treatment is right for you, Roman's Pharmacy can ship your medication to you free in just 2 days. So you don't even need to leave your house. On one hand is great because I love to work. I'm a workaholic, so I want to work. I don't want to take time out of my day to go to the doctor, take care of myself. I kind of just want it shipped to me. We're in this Amazon culture, and it's awesome to get stuff sent to us. And Roman has figured that out when it comes to dealing with erectile dysfunction. And obviously there's no commitments. You can cancel anytime. So if you're struggling with ED, go to getroman.com/ASP for a free online visit and free 2-day shipping. That's getroman.com/ASP for a free online visit and free 2-day shipping. And that is also in the show notes. All right, thank you. And let's get back to the episode. I know you have a growing and popular YouTube channel that you're filming, and you have someone to help edit. Do you enjoy that side of it? Is that a fun kind of thing to do while you're skiing?
Yeah, I love that side of it because you get to be creative in a different way than just the skiing side and mix those two worlds together. I love it.
So it adds to it. It doesn't take away from the experience of being out there.
Yeah, like some days you probably don't always feel like going filming, and because it definitely takes longer time when you film. You don't get as much skiing in. So some days it's definitely you're not the most stoked on it, but then when you come home and you watch the footage, and then you get hyped again.
Is there a lot of quality skiers in your area in the sense of, do you feel like you're someone kind of that people recognize when you're going around, or you just kind of want someone else there?
I think I'm more someone else there. There's so many good skiers here, and lots of professional skiers live here and travel through here. So just one in the crowd, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, but you also are, you're pretty well known for what you're doing now. In a lot of ways, you get paid to do this now. Has that been something maybe you foresaw?
Yeah, that's the thing. I never had the aspiration to be a professional skier in the sense of filming, because I didn't even know you could be that until just a couple of years ago, since I was so focused on the racing side of things. But then I just started skiing a bunch, putting out videos and stuff on social media and on the internet, and I started to get recognitions, and then I got emails from people that wanted to sponsor me, and then it just kind of kept building up on that way.
Do you enjoy that side of it as well, kind of the business side of being a professional athlete?
I do a lot. I think it adds to it too, because if you're just skiing every day, I love skiing and I would probably do that forever, but it's also nice to add a different element to it, because then you can push yourself there too and grow on that side too, and you learn so much from it. And it's cool to have your own company just based out of skiing. It's a dream, really. So it's going good, way better than I could imagine it would go. Just because I've only been doing it professionally in the sense that I've gotten paid for it the past 3 years, and it's definitely just in those 3 years it's grown a lot, which is very exciting, and I'm very proud and happy about that.
Do you have anyone back home that you tell about this? Maybe parents or anyone that doubted you early on and say, "No, look what I'm doing now."
No, I've been pretty lucky with my parents. Always supported me in everything I do, and my mom helps me a lot on the business side with the financial taxes and all of that. She's really good at that, so she teaches me a lot on that side, which is really good.
I heard you say one time in one of your videos that if you're don't go out looking for sponsorships as an athlete, just go out and do what you love to do and enjoy it first. And that kind of seems like the way you've approached it. Is that an opinion that you still hold? And if so, What would you add to that if you could?
I would say, like, first of all, definitely don't have as a goal, like, I'm just gonna get sponsors. Just probably the same as I said then, like, get out there and get good first and create something, like do a little video or photos so you can like really show that you have something to give to like potential sponsors. But I would definitely say, if you think you have that and if you think you're good enough, then you should definitely reach out. So I'll definitely add that to it. Then if you've been out there and done your job, then you should reach out, because it's hard to get noticed these days, but with social media it's easier for sure to get to get recognition. So if you have good stuff, after a while I think people will notice it, and then that'll start happening.
A lot of people try to do it backwards, they try to get sponsored first before, and they never really love what they're doing. And so it's this weird, very frustrating journey, I can imagine. So that's good advice. So how's this winter going for you? How's the snow up in British Columbia?
It's been the craziest winter of all time.
Oh yeah? Why is that?
It hasn't snowed this much here in like the past 10 years or something, I think someone said. So
you're just getting tons of snow.
Yeah, in town you can almost not see the houses. The snowbanks are so big. It's crazy.
Oh my gosh. And now you're just loving every second of that, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's been amazing. I just been skiing a bunch for myself with my friends and my boyfriend, and it's been awesome.
That's so cool. And so I know, this is probably a little too early to be even thinking about this, but I know in the off season you love to travel. Is there anything that you have goal wise that you do in the off season that helps make you better during the ski season?
Yeah, I've started surfing a bunch recently, or like the past couple of years. So I just want to get better at that.
Where do you go to do that?
The past summers I've been a lot in Bali and around in Indonesia.
Do you think that adds to your skill set with skiing, or is it two totally different things?
It is pretty different, but I think it definitely adds a bit to surf, like especially watching good people surf, like because there's such flowy, nice style that I think if you put that into skiing, it would be a very nice mix. So it's definitely like an inspiration in that way to like see people surf.
That's too cool. Do you think you're gonna maybe try to pursue that as well in a more professional way, or is that just a hobby for now?
Yeah, that's would be a very long time ahead for me to be a professional surfer. I'm still very much at the beginner state, but it's just a hobby, but it's the best hobby. I love it.
What else between those two things? Are those primarily what takes up most of your time?
Yeah, pretty much. I run quite a bit, and I love hiking and just being in the mountains in summertime I love that too. I just love being outside and being active, and like no matter what way I do that, I'm pretty content.
So, you mentioned your boyfriend, and I know that he's a pretty well-known skier as well, Sam Carlson.
Yeah.
What is it like to date someone else that's also well-known in the sport? Does that make things easier or more difficult, or you just have a lot more to connect with? How has the experience been like for you?
For me, it's been really good because we can ski together a bunch. And in the off season, we're both since we both don't have regular jobs, we can go surfing together and we can go travel. So it's definitely compared to if one of us would have a normal 9-to-5 job, this is definitely way better for our relationship, I would say.
Yeah, I guess so. If you got the lifestyle right now to do it, we talk to a lot of people who, spouses or partners are just aren't at all involved in the world that they're in. And for some people it makes it easier, and others, obviously it doesn't make it so easy, but yeah. I guess every relationship's different, but that's very interesting. That's cool. And so you guys live up there in Revelstoke together half the year?
Yeah. We got a little dog now. We brought it back, a little rescue dog from Bali. And
All right.
yeah, it's pretty amazing.
That's awesome. So, what are you most curious about right now outside of surfing and skiing?
Right now, I'm most curious about, I would love to go, I follow this rhino orphanage on Facebook, and I would love to go there and volunteer there.
Oh, wow. Where is that?
It's in Namibia.
Very cool. So what is your proudest achievement outside of your career?
My proudest achievement is probably just that I've always lived a life that I'm truly happy with and just followed my passions and not followed what would make me the most money or make me successful or what other people think I should do. I'm very proud of that.
Absolutely. So what is your biggest goal that you haven't yet achieved?
I want to go skiing in Alaska and make a sick film segment from it one day.
Oh man, well you're not too far away, so it's not just a quick flight and you'd be over there. That's awesome. So what's a destination, you might have already said this, but what's a destination you want to travel to that you haven't yet?
I would love to go to Greenland because when I fly from Sweden to Canada, it's like always midway and you can look out the windows and it's just like this massive blob of glaciers and mountains and no houses, and I want to go there.
Can I ask you this? That's interesting. Do a lot of people not ski there?
I think a couple, like, people go ski there like on expeditions and live in huts and stuff of boats. You need to have probably have a guide or really, really know what you're doing.
So you're looking at the plane, just looking at it like, holy cow, that place is wild.
Yeah.
Well, maybe the plane will land one day and you can get out. That'd be
exactly.
Sweet.
I hope so.
So do you have any other hobby besides those two that maybe you don't ever talk about or folks don't really know about?
I really, really love animals. And my dream since I was a kid is like I've always wanted to have my own show on Animal Planet, so that's still my secret dream if skiing doesn't work out for me.
Oh man, maybe you could be the first hybrid animal skiing show, or surfing and dog show. That'd have been perfect.
I would watch that for sure.
Why don't you just, this can be kind of a piece on advice. How do you personally live without compromise?
I personally live without compromise, probably in the sense that I do what makes me happy and I don't really compromise that. If that day it's me going for a run and then just chilling, then I'll do that. But if it's me going on a massive ski tour and skiing this more challenging line, then that's that day. But always listen to what my body is saying and what my mentally what I feel up to, and then just going with that.
So you don't feel the pressure to go after the most epic thing every day. It's really just how you feel?
Yeah, exactly. It's not every day that happens, but most of the time I try to listen to what my body's saying. I think the people that's more experienced definitely do that more, and I think more of us young people getting into it probably has pushed it a bit too much some days, but I think we're learning from the people that knows to take a rest day if you need it.
Absolutely. So how can people follow you and find out more about you?
They can follow me on my Instagram, Malou Peterson, and also at my YouTube channel, KM Days. We will be releasing some new stuff pretty soon, so it should be pretty good, hopefully.
Awesome. And all that will be in the show notes. And so if people want, they can click on it from there. But Malou, thank you so much for being on the show. I really appreciate you being a part of the Athletic Brewing team and living without compromise and being an inspiration.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's super fun, and I'm so happy to be on board with Athletic. I love everything they do and all their beers too, so I'm stoked.
Oh yeah, I'm drinking one right now. It's really good stuff. Yeah. All right, well, have a great night and enjoy it out there in the wilderness. All right.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
You too.
All right, see you.
Yeah, bye.
First of all, thank you so much for listening. It means the world to us that you choose to listen to this show. If you'd like to help us further, you can leave a review on iTunes, share us with your friends, your family. It goes a long way to grow in the show. You can also support us financially through patreon.com/adventuresportspodcast. Link is in the show notes. And also, if you have an idea of who could be a good guest for the show, we're always looking for people to tell their story about the outdoors or adventure. So if you know someone, please reach out. Email us at info@adventuresportspodcast.com. And until then, get out there and have some fun.